Chapter 51. Huang Zhenshin's Terror. Which sect is Chang Mountain? After spiritual master Shan Kui's corporeal body was destroyed, his essence soul had just emerged when Han Ju appeared out of thin air in front of him. He raised his hand and used the six-path soul absorption to suck his essence soul into his hand. Han Ju then squeezed hard and directly crushed it. It was a complete slaughter. Huang Zhenshin's eyes widened. He didn't even have time to help. Too fast. Han Ju killed spiritual master Shan Kui as easily as stepping on an ant. There really was a trap. Huang Zhenshin immediately turned around and chose to escape. Han Ju jumped and moved in front of Huang Zhenshin, stopping him. Somersault Cloud. His movement distance was related to the amount of six paths spirit energy he used. It might be difficult to move 108,000 miles, but moving for a short distance was nothing to Han Ju. Huang Zhenshin was stunned. He looked at him in shock. Han Ju took out the Kylan sword and pointed it at him. Wait. Don't make a move, I can make the Raincoat sect cease fire. Huang Zhenshin said in a low voice as a cold sweat broke out on his forehead. Han Ju raised his eyebrows. I need to cut the weeds by the roots, understand? Huang Zhenshin actually admitted defeat. Han Ju thought of his introduction. Huang Zhenshin did not like killing. Could it be that he didn't want to attack the J Pure sect? Because of that, the actions of the Raincoat sect were delayed like this. Huang Zhenshin said helplessly, Actually, I don't want to create so many conflicts, but I'm the leader. I bear the responsibility of the entire sect. If I didn't take the initiative, countless disciples of the Jade Pure sect would have died. Right now, all of them are still alive and well. That was the truth. Zhou Fan and Yang Tiandong were still alive. Han Ju hesitated. If it was really as Huang Zhenshin said, then he could still control the Raincoat sect. If he killed him, the entire Raincoat sect would go crazy. At that time, they would take revenge crazily, and Han Ju wouldn't be able to hunt them down all over the world. As long as you let me go, I'll definitely order the Raincoat sect to stop attacking the Jade Pure sect. Huang Zhenshin said solemnly. Hearing this, Han Ju's eyes flickered. Huang Zhenshin heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that they could negotiate. At this moment, Han Ju suddenly attacked, slashing with his sword. Heavenly Punishment Ghost Deity Sword. Huang Zhenshin was shocked. He hurriedly raised his hand to block, and his surging spiritual ki forcefully blocked the terrifying sword he. However, he was still forced back, blood spilling from his mouth. Fellow Taoist, you. Huang Zhenshin was furious. Huang Zhenshin developed hatred towards you. Current hatred points, 2 stars. Han Ju sneered. Perhaps Huang Zhenshin had no choice in this matter, but how could Han Ju let him go so that he could attempt to change the situation? He could make the Raincoat sect stop attacking. If he couldn't do it before, why could he do it now? It was better to just kill him and intimidate the Raincoat sect, preventing the Holy Ghost from creating more trouble. Han Ju raised the Kylan sword and pointed it at the sky. The six paths spirit energy in his body erupted and soared into the sky. In an instant, a blue light appeared in the sky like an ocean. It was dazzling. Sword shadows appeared from it and quickly solidified. Huang Zhenshin formed hand seals with both hands. 4 scepters appeared and revolved around him. He looked at the sword shadows in the sky and panicked. What kind of spell is this? No. It's a mystical power. Han Ju was using the 10,000 sword sect. 10,000 sword shadows hung high in the sky. How spectacular was that? All of them pointed at Huang Zhenshin, causing his limbs to turn cold. He quickly activated the formation, and the 4 scepters immediately pulled away. Spiritual energy burst out from the 4 corners and formed a rectangular formation. Han Ju brandished his sword. 10,000 sword shadows attacked Huang Zhenshin. Like a school of carps crossing the river, divine weapons descended from the sky. Boom! The 10,000 Sword sect collided with Huang Zhenshin's formation, scattering the surrounding clouds. Huang Zhenshin's robe fluttered wildly. He gritted his teeth and resisted with all his might. What a powerful technique! Huang Zhenshin was extremely nervous and regretful. If he had known, he would have followed his instinct. He wouldn't have listened to those fools and personally come to the Jade Pure sect. I knew it. The Jade Pure sect was truly fearless. As Huang Zhenshin cursed in his heart, his spirit formation shattered. The violent sword shadow collided with his body, causing him to spit out blood and fly backward. He was not directly killed. It seemed Huang Zhenshin was not so weak. As he flew back, he quickly turned around and flew into the sky. He seemed to have used some sort of mystical power as well. His body transformed into a streak of light and disappeared without a trace. He couldn't be allowed to escape. Hanju immediately used the somersault cloud while tracing his aura. Since they had already fought, he had to kill the enemy. Hanju moved faster. After a somersault, he stood in front of Huang Zhenshin. Huang Zhenshin was almost scared to death and immediately waved his hand. In a flash, Hanju took out the burning Fian bell and smashed it at him. With a boom, Huang Zhenshin's right palm struck the burning Fian bell, causing him to feel dizzy. The burning Fian bell rapidly expanded as Hanju waved his right hand. The bell was first raised, then smashed down heavily, directly pressing Huang Zhenshin down. He crashed into the forest. The burning Fian bell continued to slam repeatedly as the ground shook violently. The forest within a radius of several hundred meters was flattened. Huang Zhenshin's corporeal body was smashed. He quickly summoned his essence soul and wanted to continue escaping. But his speed was nothing compared to Hanju. Hanju used the Six Paths soul absorption and directly sucked Huang Zhenshin's essence soul into his palm. The battle ended. Huang Zhenshin, who was at the 9th level of the soul formation realm, faced Hanju but was just like Duan Tongshan, unable to fight back. Another boss was defeated by me. I'm really strong. Hanju smiled in satisfaction and returned to the Jade Pure sect. The location of the previous battle had already attracted the elders of the sect. Hanju used the Wind God technique and circled around them, quickly returning to the connate cave abode. The Black Hell Chicken saw him and quickly asked, "Master, how is it? Should we run? I'm ready." Hanju rolled his eyes at it and said, "Your master, don't attack without full confidence. If I do, the enemy will definitely die." The Black Hell Chicken was stunned for a moment before slowly lying down. Hanju sat on the bed. He raised his right hand and released Huang Zhenshin's essence soul. Trapped by the Six Paths spirit energy, his essence soul could not escape. Upon seeing Hanju, Huang Zhenshin's face was filled with fear. He asked in a trembling voice, "Who are you?" He's too powerful. Although Huang Zhenshin was cautious, he was still confident. He had never thought that he would lose so badly. Hanju said expressionlessly, "Zhao Zilong of Chang Mountain." The Black Hell Chicken was confused. Who was Zhao Zilong? Which sect is Chang Mountain? Huang Zhenshin was also puzzled. Hanju asked, "There aren't any great grand elders in your sect, right?" The reason why he did not destroy Huang Zhenshin's essence soul was to obtain information. Now his Six Paths soul absorption could seal essence souls or normal souls, making interrogation easier. Huang Zhenshin hesitated and said, "Yes, but he's already left the Great Yan. Now I'm the strongest in the Raincoat sect. Can you let me go? If you really can't, I'll leave the Raincoat sect and join the Jade Pure sect." In order to survive, he could let go of his dignity. Hanju raised his eyebrows. This fellow's personality was very similar to his. How despicable. Hanju snorted. "Let's see how you perform." With that, he closed his right palm and threw Huang Zhenshin's essence soul into the depths of his soul, imprisoning it. With Huang Zhenshin gone, the Raincoat sect was nothing to worry about. he could cultivate in peace. Hanju smiled and continued cultivating, charging towards the second level of the soul formation realm. Chapter 52. 9 Stars Spirit Trampling Boots, Chaotic Heavenly Dog. The sect master of the Raincoat sect, Huang Zenshin, and the elder, spiritual master Shan Kui, headed to the Jade Pure sect. However, there was no news from them for several years. Being attacked by the Jade Pure sect and the Vermilion Bird Sword sect, the Raincoat sect started to panic. Especially the elders. With Huang Zenshin and the elders' abilities, they should be back soon. Why did it take so long? Did something happen? They recalled Huang Zenshin's worries and couldn't help but panic. Thus, they ordered all the outer sect disciples to rush back to the sect and defend against the attacks of the Jade Pure sect and the Vermilion Bird Sword sect. Previously, when dealing with the two sects, the Raincoat sect seemed very relaxed. Just the cultivators guarding the sect were enough. Now they were afraid. They were afraid that a mysterious enemy would appear. After a long time, the Jade Pure sect and the Vermilion Bird Sword sect received a request from the Raincoat sect. The latter released all the captives from the two sects, including Huang Jihao. The Jade Pure sect and the Vermilion Bird Sword sect also retreated and returned home. After fighting for so many years, they were indeed tired. It had been 5 years since he defeated Huang Zenshin. Relying on the pills, Hanju quickly broke through to the third level of the soul formation realm. He had also used up all his pills now. Without soul formation realm cultivation pills, he discovered that the spirit tie in the connate cave abode was actually a little thin to him. How many years would it take for him to break through to the void amalgamation realm? No matter how powerful a cultivation technique was, it still depended on the surrounding spirit key. When Hanju was a little troubled, Yang Tiandong suddenly returned. After entering the cave abode, he pounced in front of Hanju and started crying. "Master, after so many years I've finally seen you again. Do you know how much I've suffered all these years? I always believed that you would come and save me, Master. Sect Master told me that if not for you presiding over the Jade Pure sect, he wouldn't have dared to come and save us." Yang Tiandong cried in an earth-shattering manner. The black hell chicken cocked its head and blinked, staring at the stranger. Hanju felt ashamed. He didn't save Yang Tiandong mainly because he was afraid. Hanju said, "Disciple, you performed well. I will teach you spells next." Yang Tiandong's favorability toward you has increased. Current favorability, 3 stars. Yang Tiandong was moved to tears and kept kowtowing. Then Hanju introduced the black hell chicken to him. Yang Tiandong had already discovered the black hell chicken, but he had no time to ask. "You must be Master's disciple. You can call me Brother Chicken from now on." Brother Chicken. Hanju was speechless. Yang Tiandong was also stunned. The black hell chicken harumphed. "I'm a phoenix. Sooner or later, I'll bring Master up to the 9 heavens." For some reason, the moment it saw Yang Tiandong, it felt inexplicably hostile. It did not like his aura. It was the first time Yang Tiandong saw such a big chicken. He was a little flustered, afraid that he would say something wrong and offend Hanju. "All right, go cultivate at the side. In a few days, I'll teach you a spell," Hanju said. Yang Tiandong was pleasantly surprised when he heard this. He nodded obediently and hurriedly walked to the side to meditate. Hanju continued cultivating. It seemed that Lai Kingzi and the rest had returned. Indeed, the next day at noon, Lai Kingzi came to visit. "Ha ha ha. Elder Han, the spy I planted in the Raincoat sect, told me that the sect master is missing. Did he come to the Jade Pure sect? Did you kill him?" Lai Kingzi asked excitedly. Yang Tiandong looked at Hanju expectantly. Hanju hesitated for a moment before nodding slightly. It was good that he revealed this so that Lai Kingzi would not worry and disturb him all day long. As expected of Elder Han, you're the greatest contributor to our Jade Pure sect. The sect master of the Reincarnated sect is dead. They probably won't dare to cause trouble for a long time. Lai Qingzi was extremely happy and couldn't stop talking. Most of the time, Hanju responded politely. After he finished speaking, Hanju smiled and said, "It's time for the Jade Pure sect to cultivate peacefully. Sect master, stop running around and cultivate properly." Every time he saw Lai Qingzi getting beaten up, Hanju would worry for him. Lai Qingzi smiled and said, "Right, there's one more thing. In at most half a year, the ancestor will be back. In another 5 years, it will be the Jade Pure sect's Millennium ceremony. It will be a joyous occasion for the sect. Although it was delayed for 2 years, it doesn't matter. I will invite all the sects to participate and build a good relationship with them. At that time, do you want to appear? I can help introduce you to the cultivation world and let them know who the most powerful deity slaying elder of the Jade Pure sect is so that your name can shake the cultivation world." Hanju hurriedly said, No. I can't tell anyone that I killed the leader of the Raincoat sect. Let's pretend that we don't know about this. I don't want to show my face either. I just want to cultivate properly. If the sect master wants to create hype for me, you'll be harming me instead. I've killed so many enemies for the Jade Pure sect. If this gets out, I'm dead. At that time, I can only run and leave the sect." Lai Qingzi agreed after hearing these reasonable words. Before leaving, Hanju expressed his recent problem and asked Lai Qingzi to help increase the concentration of spirit Kai in the cave abode. Lai Qingzi immediately agreed. After leaving the cave abode, Lai Qingzi began to worry. How else can I raise it? The spirit Kai here is already the densest in the entire sect. I can only wait for the ancestor to return. Lai Qingzi was vexed. He had already transplanted the best natural treasures over, but Hanju was still not satisfied. This fellow's breakthrough speed is too fast. As soon as Lai Qingzi left, words appeared in front of Hanju. You successfully protected the sect and defeated the Raincoat sect. You obtained a numinous treasure, a sword technique manual, and an egg of a divine beast of Providence. Congratulations on attaining a 5th grade numinous treasure, 9 stars spirit trampling boots. Congratulations on attaining the manual, Heartless Flying Sword. Congratulations on attaining the chaotic heavenly dog. 9 stars spirit trampling boots, 5th grade numinous treasure. It can step on and absorb spirit Kai. Its flying speed is extremely fast. It can increase the effect of movement mystical powers and movement techniques. Heartless Flying Sword, Heartless Sword Technique. After cultivating this sword technique, one's emotions and lust will decrease. The lethality of this sword technique is extremely high. Chaotic Heavenly Dog. One of the ancient divine beasts of Providence. Legend has it that the heavenly dog devours the moon. Currently in an egg state. Hanju couldn't help but smile. Finally, the 9 stars spirit trampling boots were good, being very suitable for running away. Great! In the blink of an eye. 3 years passed. Hanju was still at the 3rd level of the soul formation realm. During this period of time, he passed the Heartless Flying Sword to Yang Tiandong, while not cultivating it himself. Yang Tiandong liked it very much. With his outstanding aptitude, he became proficient in the Heartless Flying Sword in 3 years and made a name for himself in the inner sect. He only advanced to an elite disciple half a year ago. He was about to break through to the Golden Core realm. The chaotic heavenly dog had already hatched. It was even hatched by the Black Hell Chicken. The Black Hell Chicken did not know how to hatch an egg. Hanju had taught it. It had yet to establish its own values and morals, so it did not object. After the chaotic heavenly dog hatched, it would especially take care of it. The present chaotic heavenly dog was already the size of a calf. It had silver fur and looked like a fat wolf. That's right. It was fat. The black hell chicken's plump body made it think that it looked better that way. Therefore, it also fattened the chaotic heavenly dog. Hanju didn't stop it. Plump pets were the cutest. His cultivation level far exceeded the chaotic heavenly dog. Since it couldn't surpass him, he didn't expect the pet to fight. What was worth mentioning was that the chaotic heavenly dog was arrogant by nature. It dared to challenge the black hell chicken when it was only 2 years old. This often caused the black hell chicken to go berserk, so the connate cave abode was often in chaos. Chapter 53. De Waste 9 Cauldrons, Tathagata Incantation. One fine day, when Yang Tiandong returned from his mission, he was very excited. "Ancestor, the ancestor is back," Yang Tiandong said. Hanju did not open his eyes. He immediately checked the strongest person in the Jade Pure sect. De Waste 9 Cauldrons, 8th level of the Void Amalgamation Realm, founding ancestor of the Jade Pure sect. 8th level of the Void Amalgamation Realm. Nice. Hanju immediately felt a sense of security. With such a powerful figure guarding the sect, it shouldn't encounter any more tribulations, right? Hanju said softly, "Cultivate well." With that, he started the simulation trial and fought De Waste 9 Cauldrons. Yang Tiandong rubbed his nose awkwardly. He originally had a lot to say, but seeing that his master did not want to listen, he could only obediently walk to the side and start cultivating. The chaotic heavenly dog stared at him and whispered, "Brother Chicken, his aura is so irritating." The black hell chicken narrowed its eyes. "Yes, I feel the same." Although their voices were low, Yang Tiandong could hear them clearly. He was speechless. Was his half-demon bloodline so irritating to demons? Yang Tiandong felt wronged, but he didn't dare to say anything. After a while, Hanju opened his eyes and thought, "Is this the Void Amalgamation Realm? Not bad." He had lost. With the Wind God technique and the somersault cloud, he barely lasted for a few minutes. It was still very difficult for a cultivator at the 3rd level of the Soul Formation Realm to fight a cultivator at the 8th level of the Void Amalgamation Realm. Hanju took a deep breath. He had a goal. He wanted to defeat De Waste 9 Cauldrons as soon as possible. For the next period of time, the entire Jade Pure sect was very lively. Firstly, the Millennium ceremony was coming. Secondly, the founder had returned. Under the publicity of the elders of the 18 Peaks, all sorts of legends about De Waste 9 Cauldrons spread. A cultivator who had lived for more than 1,000 years was extremely rare in the entire cultivation world of the Great Yan. Hanju was still in seclusion and did not go out. Several days later, Lei Qingzi came to visit. De Waste 9 Cauldrons followed. He was tall and had a head full of white hair. He had the bearing of an immortal. Hanju stood up and bowed. Yang Tiandong followed suit. The black hell chicken and chaotic heavenly dog sprawled on the ground as they quietly looked at De Waste 9 Cauldrons. After De Waste 9 Cauldrons entered the cave abode, he first looked at the black hell chicken and the chaotic heavenly dog, and then said in surprise, "These two beasts are not simple." "Young friend, where did you get them?" The others of the Jade Pure sect could not see the origins of the two beasts, but De Waste 9 Cauldrons could sense that they were extraordinary. After all, he had traveled the world and was very knowledgeable. Lei Qingzi couldn't help but turn around. "Since when was there a dog?" Hanju smiled and said, "I got them by chance." De Waste 9 Cauldrons smiled and didn't ask further. He walked to a chair and sat down. He looked at Hanju and said, "Young friend, it's all thanks to you that the Jade Pure sect was able to survive. Otherwise, the sect would have been destroyed. I came especially to thank you and also brought an opportunity." "Opportunity?" Hanju frowned. In his understanding, as long as it was not something directly given to him, it was a risk. Danger. It was easy to get into trouble. "I left the Great Yan cultivation world 1,000 years ago to seek the land of immortals. After that, I went overseas and lived in the mortal world. Now I'm already the vice sect master of a sect. This time, I'll bring some geniuses to cultivate there. When their cultivation reaches a phenomenal stage, they can return to the Jade Pure sect. Are you willing to go? Deweist Nine Cauldrons stroked his beard and smiled. Overseas by sect master? Hanju was speechless. Your hometown was almost gone, but you went to join someone else's sect and made a name for yourself. Hanju asked cautiously, is your sect invincible overseas? It's difficult to be invincible, but it's still one of the overlords. Overlord? Are there enemies? Of course, but there's nothing to be afraid of. It's very difficult to overturn our sect. There are many Void Amalgamation Realm experts in our sect. Oh, thank you for your kind intentions, ancestor. I won't be going. Hanju shook his head and rejected. The outside was so dangerous. If they weren't an invincible sect, they would definitely face danger. In the Great Yan, the Jade Pure sect no longer had any enemies. The strongest Rankot sect was about to fall. Deweist Nine Cauldrons smiled. They said that you are very cautious. It seems that you are afraid that it will be dangerous to go overseas. That's true. Back then, He began to brag about his adventures. Indeed, no matter what world it was, old men were always talkative and loved to brag. Hanju listened quietly. After Deweist Nine Cauldrons spoke for a long time, Lai Qingzi finally had a chance to speak. Elder Han, it's fine if you don't want to go. It's also good to stay in the Jade Pure sect. Next, the ancestor will help our sect develop. At that time, the Jade Pure sect will definitely become the overlord of the Great Yan cultivation world. You want to cultivate diligently, right? No problem. I'll try my best to help you search for natural treasures. From now on, the entire mountain will be yours. I can expel the disciples from the other cave abodes and leave them for you and your disciples in the future. Lai Qingzi smiled. He was a sect master and naturally didn't want Hanju to leave. Deweist Nine Cauldrons had put it nicely. How could the geniuses be willing to return from a better sect? Of course, this was unless they were not doing well and were often oppressed. If Hanju left with him, what would happen if the Jade Pure sect encountered danger again? Deweist Nine Cauldrons smiled and said, that's right. I'll stay for at least 50 years before leaving. I'll first reform the Jade Pure sect and turn it into the holy land of the Great Yan cultivation world. During this time, you can consider it. A line of words appeared in front of Hanju. You are invited by Deweist Nine Cauldrons and Lai Qingzi. You have the following choices. 1. Follow Deweist Nine Cauldrons and go overseas. You can obtain a bottle of cultivation pills, equipment, and a numinous treasure. 2. Continue to stay in the Jade Pure sect. Cultivate while keeping a low profile and strive for stability. You can obtain a mystical power inheritance. Hanju smiled and said, thank you, ancestor and sect master. I'll stay in the Jade Pure sect first. He silently chose the second option. In terms of choices, the first option may be better, unlike in the past. But he thought about it. There was no need for him to go overseas. Perhaps the spirit key here was far inferior, but he had no enemies and could cultivate peacefully. If he went overseas, he might encounter many troubles. Hanju didn't have any blood feuds or terrifying enemies. Why would he want to go out? In addition, Lai Qingzi's suggestion was also good. This cave abode was indeed small, and the entire mountain was just right for him. As for the other disciples on the mountain, Hanju could only apologize. He believed that Lai Qingzi could weigh the pros and cons. You choose to stay in the Jade Pure sect. Attained a mystical power inheritance. Congratulations on obtaining the mystical power, Tathagata Incantation. Tathagata Incantation, Buddhist mystical power. It can vanquish ghosts and suppress evil spirits. Buddhist mystical power. Interesting. Hanju thought silently. The three of them continued to chat. Less than 3 days after Lai Qingzi and Deweist Nine Cauldrons left, all the other cultivators on the mountain moved out. Under Lai Qingzi's arrangements, a group of mortal servants came to plant the treasures. This batch of treasures was likely brought back by Dewey's 9 cauldrons. Their quality clearly exceeded the previous ones. Not only that, Lei Qingzi even personally came to the foot of the mountain to set up a formation for Hanju. The treatment was as good as it got. When this matter reached the inner sect, the disciples thought that the sect master wanted to nurture a cultivation holy mountain. All of them began to look forward to it. Little did they know that this mountain only belonged to one person. Hanju didn't interfere with the matters outside the cave abode and cultivated in peace. The black hell chicken and the chaotic heavenly dog were also cultivating diligently. Soon, Yang Tiandong left the cave abode. Lai Qingzi intended to nurture him and let him take over the Jade Pure sect. Firstly, it was because of his potential, and secondly, it was to rope Hanju in. Half a year passed quickly. On this day, Xing Hongxuan came to find Hanju. The disciples of the various peaks had been ordered not to come to this mountain. However, Xing Hongxuan had Dewey's Jingsu's support, so she dared to come. Hanju let her in. "Husband, I picked up a treasure recently and specially came to give it to you." Xing Hongxuan happily sat down next to Hanju and took out a jade pearl the size of a baby's fist. After Hanju took the bead and scanned it with his divine sense, his expression immediately turned strange. Xing Hongxuan said excitedly, "This pearl can automatically gather the spirit key of heaven and earth and create key-gathering pills automatically. This is a good treasure." Chapter 54. Heavenly Quartz Jinx, Unparalleled Talent. Hearing Xing Hongxuan's words, Hanju's expression became even stranger. The reason was that his divine sense discovered a soul hidden in the jade pearl. This soul was a fierce spirit filled with a malevolent aura. It was obviously not a good thing. Hanju asked, "Where did you find this pearl?" After he explained the situation of the ferocious spirit in the jade pearl, Xing Hongxuan's eyes widened in disbelief. After that, she frowned and said in a low voice, "I obtained it in a cultivation market. I participated in the auction and obtained a treasure. However, someone targeted me. He followed me and wanted to seize my treasure. In the end, he was killed by me and I received this item from his storage ring. The fellow Deoways who accompanied me told me that this is a connate spirit gathering jade, and it's extremely rare. It's a cultivation sacred treasure. I heard that it was so amazing, so I brought it over to you." Hanju felt that something was amiss, but he couldn't figure it out. He immediately used the 6 paths soul absorption technique and eliminated the ferocious spirit inside. Then he returned the connate spirit gathering jade to her. "Take it. I've already gotten rid of the evil spirit inside. This treasure won't be of much help to me. You, on the other hand, are about to break through to the golden core realm. You just happen to need this treasure," Hanju said seriously. Xing Hongxuan subconsciously wanted to reject him, but Hanju continued, "Your cultivation is too slow. At this rate, the possibility of me becoming your husband will decrease. You should be thinking of increasing your cultivation speed." Xing Hongxuan's smile turned bitter. Hanju couldn't bear to watch this. After all, this was the woman who had the highest favorability towards him. With a flip of his right hand, he handed Xing Hongxuan the spirit pills that he had seized in the past. These pills could help her break through to the golden core realm and help her increase her cultivation level. "You were the one who gave me treasures in the past. I'll do the same to you now. Also, open a cave abode in the back mountain and cultivate," Hanju said seriously. Xing Hongxuan was pleasantly surprised and smiled sweetly. When Hanju saw this, he inexplicably panicked. He said seriously, "We are not husband and wife yet. I hope that you will do your best to cultivate. Also, don't publicize our relationship. I have killed many powerful enemies for the Jade Pure sect. Don't become the enemy's weakness to threaten me, understand?" Xing Hongxuan nodded obediently. "Himph. Rascal. You still care about me." He said that he was afraid she would become his weakness, but he was actually worried about her safety. The more Xing Hongxuan thought about it, the sweeter she felt. She recalled that back then, Hanju was still a youth in her eyes. Now he had become the powerful deity-slaying elder of the Jade Pure sect. Such potential was unheard of in the cultivation world. She had to work hard. If this continued, she'd not be worthy of Hanju. Xing Hongxuan didn't stay for long. She wanted to seize this opportunity to get closer to Hanju, but the black cow chicken and the chaotic heavenly dog kept staring at her. Their eyes widened, making her feel embarrassed. A year and a half later, the spirit tie in the mountain where Hanju was at increased greatly. Besides the spirit gathering array, Lai Qingzi also set up a protective array. Under Hanju's instructions, Xing Hongxuan quietly moved to the back of the mountain and enjoyed the boundless spirit kai there. One fine day, the Jade Pure sect's Millennium ceremony was about to begin. All the righteous sects of the cultivation world sent people to congratulate them. The Jade Pure sect welcomed an unprecedentedly lively event. It was said that the sect master of the Raincoat sect vanished after heading to the Jade Pure sect. In other words, it was very likely that he died there. This greatly elevated the Jade Pure sect's status in the cultivation world. No one dared to slight them. After De Waste 9 Cauldrons returned, he began to personally clean up the sect. The spirit tie in the 18 peaks and the intersect cities also increased greatly. Although it wasn't as good as Hanju's mountain, it was several times stronger than before. Not only that, but De Waste 9 Cauldrons also captured several great demons comparable to the nascent soul realm and imprisoned them in the 10,000 demon realm. The Jade Pure sect was growing day by day. Hanju wasn't interested in the Millennium ceremony, so he did not attend and continued cultivating. What was worth mentioning was that as the black hell chicken and chaotic heavenly dog grew larger, the cave abode could no longer contain them. Hanju chased them out half a year ago. They had to make their own cave on the mountain. At the same time, they were strictly forbidden from leaving the mountain's vicinity. The black hell chicken had been instilled with values by Hanju from a young age. Now it was already a very timid, no, a very cautious chicken. It often taught the chaotic heavenly dog to have the same temperament as it. However, the chaotic heavenly dog was naturally arrogant and despised it. Although the chaotic heavenly dog did not respect it, the black hell chicken still relied on its strength to forcefully control it. No matter what, this dog was hatched by it. In Hanju's words, this was its son. One fine day, a line of words suddenly appeared in front of Hanju. Detected bearer of connate Providence, checking its origin. Another bearer of connate Providence? Hanju already had an understanding of connate Providence. These were people with extraordinary fates. Some were jinxes, while some were children of destiny. A person with connate Providence was not absolutely powerful. Hanju immediately chose to check the person's background. Sukai, the reincarnation of the jinx of the heavenly court. He was born with bad luck and would bring calamity to the people around him. He had an extremely overpowering destiny, and the people around him were often forced to death by bad luck, while he would always be able to turn the situation around for himself. When he heard that the Jade Pure sect was the strongest sect in the cultivation world, he wanted to join it and learn an orthodox cultivation method. Special hint: because you have the providence of the descendant of an immortal emperor, you are not affected by the jinx's bad luck. In addition, you are not allowed to kill the jinx. Otherwise, even your providence as the descendant of an immortal emperor cannot stop the overwhelming bad luck. What the heck? Reincarnation of a jinx? Hanju was speechless. Although his providence as a descendant of the immortal emperor could avoid the influence of the jinx, the Jade Pure sect could not. Hanju hurriedly scanned with his divine sense. Sukai was walking towards the mountain. This was not good. Hanju hesitated for a moment before deciding to meet this jinx. At the foot of the mountain, a youth sat on a large rock, panting and wiping the sweat from his forehead. Although he wasn't handsome, his eyes were filled with spirit. He turned to look at the 18 peaks with blazing eyes. "Why are you, a mortal, here?" Hanju's voice suddenly floated over. He appeared in front of Suki. Suki shivered in fear and hurriedly knelt in front of Hanju. Suppressing his excitement, he said, "My name is Suki. I want to cultivate. I know the rules of cultivation sects, but I want to skip the outer sect and directly bring my talent into the inner sect of the Jade Pure sect." How arrogant! Hanju was speechless. Also, why did that sound so familiar? Hanju shook his head and said, "You're old enough. You missed the best cultivation time." For the sake of peace and stability in the future, Hanju could only chase him away. "Impossible, my talent is unparalleled. How about this, I'll teach you the key gathering technique. You can find another place to cultivate and not join the Jade Pure sect." "No, I have to join this sect. Are you not a member of the Jade Pure sect? I heard that the sect is holding a Millennium ceremony and is inviting all sects in the cultivation world." Suki looked at him warily. Hanju was puzzled. How did this mortal know so many things? "Are you really not leaving?" "No." "All right." Hanju grabbed Suki and brought him back to the connate cave abode. Suki was thrown to the ground on his butt, hurting it. Hanju sat on the bed again and said, "From today onwards, you can only stay here. You can forget about going out for the rest of your life." Since he was immune to Suki's bad luck, he was not afraid. As for why he did not kill him, he couldn't stand the overwhelming bad luck himself. Hanju was still worried that after killing Suki, this fellow would immediately regain his identity as an immortal of the heavenly court and find trouble with him. It was better to be cautious. Chapter 55. Fifth Level of the Soul Formation Realm, Unlimited Revival. Hearing Hanju's words, Suki was stunned. Then fear and despair filled him. He asked while shivering, "Who are you?" "This is the Jade Pure sect." From what he knew, the Jade Pure sect was a righteous sect and would not do such a thing. "Suki has developed hatred towards you. Current hatred points, 2 stars. Hanju said calmly, "I gave you a chance, but you didn't cherish it. You have no choice now. Stay here from now on." Suki was terrified. He thought about it. Something was wrong. If Hanju was a bad person, he shouldn't have killed him directly. He was only an ordinary mortal and not a disciple of the Jade Pure sect. What was the point of capturing him? Wait, could it be that the expert of the sect was testing him? When Suki thought of this, he immediately calmed down. He immediately walked to the corner of the cave abode and imitated Hanju. He began to meditate. "Suki's favorability towards you has increased. Current favorability, 3 stars. Hanju was stunned. From 2-star hatred points to 3-star favorability. What's happening? Is this kid mentally ill? Hanju ignored him and focused on cultivating. To prevent Suki from eating, drinking, and defecating in his cave abode, he taught him the simplest Qi absorption technique he had obtained. He would only teach him the first level so that he won't become too hard to control. Hanju only wanted this kid's cultivation to not catch up to his. After being taught, Suki's favorability towards him reached 5 stars. The Millennium ceremony was also in full swing. Even in the cave abode, Hanju and Suki could hear Lei Qingzi speaking to the entire sect. He recounted the history of the Jade Pure sect, causing Suki's blood to boil. He was indeed still in the Jade Pure sect. Hanju must be an expert of the sect. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so daring. Suki made up his mind to cultivate well with Hanju. The Millennium ceremony passed very quickly. After the various sects left, the Jade Pure sect did not calm down. Instead, it became even more lively. Doist 9 cauldrons and Lei Qingzi modified the inner and outer sects and created more and more rules. In addition, Doist 9 cauldrons had also placed many good resources in the sect's treasure vault. There were cultivation techniques, spells, treasures, and so on, It could be seen that he was truly prepared for this return. In the blink of an eye, 3 years passed. Hanju successfully broke through to the 4th level of the soul formation realm. With the help of Deoi's 9 cauldrons and Lei Kingzi, the spirit tie in his mountain was more than 5 times stronger than before. Hanju was very satisfied now and didn't want to run around. He also didn't want to go overseas with Deoi's 9 cauldrons. During this period of time, the J Pure sect recruited new disciples without restraint. The number of outer sect disciples increased greatly, but the number of inner sect disciples had yet to increase. The J Pure sect only took in disciples from the mortals so as to prevent any spies. Deoi's 9 cauldrons had not left for decades. This year, he left the sect with his core disciples. Chang Yuer came to visit Hanju and told him about this. The Rankot sect is finished. It's like a beaten dog now, hated by everyone, she said excitedly. The chaotic heavenly dog nearly exploded when it heard that. It couldn't help but ask, "What did you say about dogs?" To prevent Chang Yuer from meeting Su Qi and getting unlucky, Hanju specially came out to see her. The two of them chatted in the woods. The chaotic heavenly dog and the black cow chicken also liked to stay here. Chang Yuer smiled and said, "I'm talking about a dog raised by mortals. You're different. Don't take it to heart." The chaotic heavenly dog felt that this made sense. She continued, "Under the founder's leadership, the Rankot sect was utterly defeated. The founder emptied out all of their resources and let the J Pure sect use them in the future." Hanju was very satisfied. Deoi's 9 cauldrons helped the J Pure sect unify the Great Yan cultivation world before he left. This way, the sect wouldn't face the threat of annihilation again. Hanju's impression of him improved. "How's your cultivation recently? When are you preparing to break through to the Golden Core realm?" Hanju asked. Chang Yuer blinked and said, "I have something to tell you. Master wants me to follow the ancestor overseas." Hanju nodded slightly. He was not surprised. That was good. Under Deoi's 9 cauldrons' care, she should be able to quickly increase her cultivation. "Junior brother, are you really not coming with us?" Chang Yuer asked expectantly. If Hanju followed them overseas, Sing Hongshuan and Mo Su wouldn't have a chance anymore. Hanju shook his head and said, "It's too dangerous overseas. Now that the J Pure sect has become stronger, it's safer to stay here. Of course, for mortal cultivators like you, it's also good to go out and take a look." Chang Yuer was stunned and almost died of anger. Hanju said seriously, "When you're overseas, you have to be careful when cultivating. Don't be fooled by other men. The path of cultivation ultimately depends on yourself. Emotions like love will delay you. When we pursue the great Tao together in the future and travel the mortal world, won't it be beautiful?" Chang Yuer's eyes lit up. Junior brother's words. "I knew it. I'm in your heart." He was right. Love couldn't tie down the path of cultivation. Chang Yuer smiled even wider. The two of them chatted for 2 hours before parting. After she left, the chaotic heavenly dog sprawled beside the black cow chicken and asked, "Brother Chicken, that woman seems to like our master very much." After all, it was a divine beast of Providence, unlike the black cow chicken, who was still immortal for the time being. The black cow chicken said solemnly, "That's greed. She wants to eat master. Remember, if you encounter other dogs that are interested in you in the future, you have to avoid them. Otherwise, you'll never be able to obtain the Great Tao. You think too much." "I'm serious, Master taught me about this." "Brother Chicken, you're just a silly chicken. How can a chicken turn into a phoenix?" "What?" The black cow chicken began beating the chaotic heavenly dog. In an instant, the forest was in chaos and the leaves fell to the ground. 10 years passed quickly. Hanju broke through to the 5th level of the soul formation realm, while Su Qi's cultivation level actually reached the foundation establishment realm. His talent was indeed impressive. He didn't use the foundation establishment pill, but still broke through so easily. Sukai enjoyed the cultivation process very much. More than 10 years had passed, but he didn't have any intention of leaving. He was very respectful to Hanju. One fine day, Daoist 9 cauldrons brought the core disciples back, causing the Jade Pure sect to cheer. Hanju was also disturbed. He opened his eyes and prepared to relax. He clicked on his interpersonal link to check his emails. Your disciple Yang Chandong was attacked by a fiendish cultivator. Your Dao companion, Xuan Qingzhen, was attacked by demons and was severely injured. Your Dao companion, Xuan Qingzhen, was attacked by Buddhists and was severely injured. Your Dao companion, Xuan Qingzhen, was killed and revived. Your good friend Jiufan accidentally entered an ancient forbidden ground and his providence changed. Hanju was stunned. Xuan Qingzhen was killed. It seemed that her mortal body could be revived infinitely. Hanju wasn't worried. After all, she was the demon lord. He noticed that Jiufan's providence had changed. However, he couldn't see what the exact change was. Ha ha ha. Young friend Han, I've come to visit you. Daoist 9 cauldrons laughed. Then he turned into a gust of wind and rushed into the cave abode. Suki couldn't help but open his eyes. Hanju knew that this was bad. The jinx was right beside him. Would it bring bad luck to Daoist 9 cauldrons? Although he was a jinx, he shouldn't be able to pass on the bad luck so quickly, right?